Welcome to the Real Talk with Bri Bee. We live in the kitchen, where pure opinions plus facts equals real talk. This is our very first episode, and we're very, very excited. This is an exclusive look into the NBA Finals. B, what was your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway was Cleveland's defense didn't get any better. What I saw last night was a combination of timely shot making and here and there defense. The first 6 minutes was really where they had their mark. They was holding Golden State, forcing turnovers. They looked out of sync. Kevin Durant didn't look like he knew what he wanted to do. Steph Curry didn't look what he wanted to do. And I think that's a combination of nerves because they're human. They heard the talk. 16-0 has never ever been done. Not only 16-0, but you're trying to beat the team that beat you last year, which is, I think, was a combination of last night. Cleveland still had 86 points in the first half. Golden State was in the mid-60s, so it wasn't like scoring was right there for them, but it was the defense that let them down. But Bri, I just gotta know, will Cleveland keep it up? That's what we need to know.
I think that's what everybody wants to know. Can LeBron continue to play night in and night out, 38 plus minutes a game, and produce over 30 points? And that's a tall order. And I just feel like last year, the difference is just Kevin Durant. It's just LeBron has to guard arguably the second best player in the NBA. And then he has to turn around and produce a bucket every time and only have the relief of Kyrie and a on and off Kevin Love. So I guess we'll just have to see. But that, I think, is the biggest takeaway. Can LeBron keep this performance up, and can the Cavaliers capitalize off of Golden State's turnovers?
Get this. So Kyrie went for 40 plus last night. It was his and LeBron's fourth time going for 30 points. So we know that they're going to score for them. We know Kyrie last night, nothing short of amazing. He was scoring. He was defending. But what I liked, beginning of the game, jump ball. It was time to get back on defense. And who did Kyrie pick up? He picked up Steph in the beginning minutes. JR was on Clay. And you know what that creates? That creates a mismatch off a miss, even a made bucket, because Curry's not going to have time to find JR. And if he does have time to find JR, then JR is already spotting up, or JR is going to run to the corner. And I like that action. I like Kyrie guarding Steph for a little bit of time because it created that mismatch.
I agree with you as well. And I feel like Steph is starting to really get, not exposed, I would say, but he has to have a better offensive game if the Golden State Warriors are going to win. Because
he looked timid.
If he's not going to shoot the lights out of the gym, because the Cavaliers were, and he only had 14 points and Draymond had 16 points. If Kevin Durant and Steph Curry are going to be the dynamic duo, he has to produce the same type of offensive production as Kevin Durant, if not better.
But he can't, because let's look at this. Kevin Durant is, 7 feet tall? I know they list him at 6. The boy's 7 feet, all right? He's taller than Kevin Love and LeBron James. He's the tallest player on the court. He could get to any spot. He scores with such ease. Steph has to really work for his baskets, just like Kyrie. That's why Kyrie was off the first couple of games, because there's only so many times that you're going to have a game where you're just shooting the lights out over everybody, shooting with hands in your face. And last night, I just saw him doing the same old Steph stuff. Like, he was trying to shoot threes when he was trying to shoot that dagger three to take all the momentum back. But sometimes you got to play from inside out, not outside in.
But if we were to play outside in, or inside out, you have to think about the inside presence of the Warriors, which isn't very strong. I will say Draymond Green is an extremely strong presence.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the whole front court.
So should David West get more minutes?
No. And here's why I say that. I feel like a lot of times David West is looking to score immediately instead of getting into the game and doing what the team needs. Because his shot selection, he's trying to shoot like Sean Livingston off one leg, airballing, and I can't do it. That's not his shot. That's not the best shot for the Warriors when we're down 20 and we're trying to get on a run, because basketball is all about runs.
Oh, yeah.
And when the right people aren't getting the ball, like when Draymond's shooting 3-pointers and he's 5 for 20 for the series.
He took way too many shots last night. 16 shots is way too much for a Draymond Green to be shooting. When you have Klay Thompson and a Steph Curry. What I would love to see, I want to see Durant on the post more. I love that action because I said this when the team first got together. You put KD on the mid post or low post, and you have Steph and Klay running off back screens on the other side. How are you going to defend that?
Right. But I agree with you. I do agree with you with more low post action. But I feel like the way the Warriors are playing right now, they have to play through KD, and KD almost has to bring the ball up the court because he takes care of the ball the most out of anybody. Like, he's averaging less than,
you can see it in the boys' eyes that he wants this bad.
More than anybody that's out there.
Like, bad. Even last night, Kyrie looks like he's about to get an easy layup, chase down block, and down 20.
Yeah.
He wants it more than anybody. You could just see it in the way he's playing. That's why I think that Game 5 is going to be totally different, because we all know this. Role players play better at home. The David West is going to be better at home. JaVale McGee is going to get a lob. David West is going to be hitting that mid-range shot. Who knows? Ian Clark might come and hit a couple threes. Patrick McCaw played great defense last night and made a couple shots. So this won't be the same type of game. Even Darren Williams last night for the Cavs was getting buckets, and that was his first basket the whole finals.
Right.
You mean to tell he's hitting threes and getting layups? Their defense was just horrible, but it's all correctable stuff.
Right.
So what I would love to see, I want to see KD in the mid low post, especially against some Richard Jefferson.
Yeah.
Richard Jefferson was about to retire last year. So how is he going to be able to guard? Probably he's going to go down as the greatest scorer of all time.
I think so as well.
I just can't wait for Game 5. But, Bri, what was your biggest takeaway from last night?
My biggest takeaway would be that the Warriors are beatable. But they're only beatable if you're giving 110% and you're playing record-breaking basketball.
Nobody's ever scored that many points in a half in the playoffs. Period. So you mean to tell me that it took you making 24 threes, having over 80 points before halftime, just to have a 18-point lead?
That's against this Warriors team in 2017. That is what you have to do. That is what you have to do. You got to get, I think the Cavs defense might not have been any different than any of the other games, but I will say that they were very disruptive. Oh, yeah. They could smell what they was eating for lunch the day before.
But doesn't that have something to do with the refs too?
Yeah, the
it became
flow of the game
became like football.
Yeah,
it was like football, basketball, because we know it seemed like the Warriors lost it. Draymond lost it. Steve Kerr lost it.
Head is not in the game anymore. It's a team. It's synergy. So once one fly off the handle, then they all start to get out of sync, and then that was a game changer. Whether Draymond was to get kicked out of the game or not, that changed the game. That changed the synergy that the Warriors had. Like, once Draymond started acting up with the refs, everybody knows when you heckle the refs, they're not gonna give you no calls, and when you waving them off, they damn sure not gonna give you calls.
Oh yeah.
So.
But it was bizarre last night. I've never seen anything like that. So they said Draymond got that tech when Steve Kerr came off the bench. They said it was in the score sheet that Draymond got that tech. But then Draymond gets another tech, which he did not deserve. You're able to react. But the way the game was going, I see why they called it. But then Draymond gets a second tech, and I still see this man on the court. He's supposed to be long gone. And then they come out and say the first one was on Steve Kerr. So I don't think it was a miscommunication.
The refs knew what type of atmosphere it would have been if Draymond got kicked out of the gym.
It would have felt like last year.
Yeah.
That's why this feels different. And just to have that happen was bizarre. A lot of bizarre things happened in this game. There were so many techs given out. So you mean to tell me Dante Jones on the bench only played 8 minutes this series? He gets a tech.
I guess he was giving them some trash talk.
I thought
7 technical fouls in that game.
So then you're gonna give Kevin and LeBron techs. It was a very unorganized
I definitely
event.
feel like the refs didn't want to make it seem like they were going one way or the other. So let's just tee up everybody that gives us issues. But that's just ridiculous. 7 technical fouls in an NBA Finals game. That's just ridiculous. And then how about the fans? You know, fans getting kicked out.
Cleveland's a very fun atmosphere. Let me put it like that. Cleveland is different because they love Cleveland. This is their own. I mean, the Indians went to the World Series last year and lost a 3-1 lead. And so this is their only chance. The Browns are the Browns.
Well, you can say it.
Yeah, they are unorganized organization.
I mean, the Redskins beat them. I mean, that's not saying a lot, but go Redskins.
But Cleveland is their heart and joy. Their hometown kid is playing for them. So I can see why they get rowdy. And who wants to see their team get swept off on their home floor?
Right.
Nobody wants to see that. You can feel that in the atmosphere. But this comes back on Steve Kerr, too.
It does.
Because Zaza was playing too much in that third quarter. Because he can't really give you that much on offense. Truly. He's not a great finisher. He's not really even a good passer. He's decent. He's not a great rebounder. He's a good rebounder. Going up against a great rebounder in Tristan Thompson. So why was he playing until 3 minutes left in the third quarter? You didn't feel that JaVale McGee could have gave you some minutes? David West? Even putting in Andre Iguodala, take him out, put in Andre Iguodala.
Yeah.
And then I felt that Steve Kerr kind of rested on his morals because KD and Steph, one of them has to be on the court at all times.
At all times.
Because Klay Thompson and Draymond, that's not working. Nobody their own shot.
They just don't have that much of an offensive presence every game in order to do that. When they're on, when Klay Thompson is on,
We know this boy could go for 30-something points in the quarter.
he's on it. But this just wasn't one of those nights for Draymond either. And to have both of them out at the same time, and then LeBron checking back in the game, he sat for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, Brandon, so quick question.
Yeah.
LeBron James is a different LeBron James in game 1 than in game 4. What is the difference?
What made him? LeBron is he's LeBron. He rolls out of bed and averaging 27 points and a triple-double. He's rolling out of bed. Game 1, LeBron, I think he was getting a feel. And now you see each game is a progression. Each game, he only shot 22 shots last night, got 31 points. Well, got to the free throw line 10 times, only had 2 turnovers, was plus 32. So the man it's like he's getting bigger as the stage gets brighter and brighter. But the thing about it is, and we both were watching the same game. What happened in game 3 in the fourth quarter? What happened? LeBron got tired. The man got so tired, he was on the bench and it looked like somebody had to go get him oxygen. There's a thing that Steve Kerr said. He said it's going to be hard for them to keep this up. They're going to get tired at some point. And last night, I wouldn't say they got tired, but they conserved energy. Like, you didn't see LeBron driving like he was in game 1 to game 3. And I think that's a whole different game plan, because the Warriors in the first 3 games, I don't know why they suddenly switched it up. They said, LeBron, you're going to have to go for 50. We're going to lock up Kyle Korver. We're going to lock up Kevin Love, JR. You and Kyrie are going to have to combine for 100 points. And that was their game plan. And last night, they went away from it. They started helping off on Korver, started helping off on JR. Kevin Love had so many open shots. I was like, I can hit those.
Yeah.
So how are you going to be able to do that? You got to pick your poison with LeBron. And the poison that I'd pick, make him a scorer. Because LeBron's not a killer.
He's a versatile scorer, but he's not a consistent
He doesn't have a
bucket.
move.
Yeah, it's just kind of back it down. Let me see what my muscles could do. And I think that's the difference between Kevin Durant and LeBron James. LeBron James' athleticism is unnatural. It is.
It's a freak of nature.
But let's be real. LeBron James is not the best dribbler, and he's not the best shooter in this game.
No.
And I feel like LeBron is unstoppable to me in transition. If LeBron James is coming down, he's a refrigerator with legs. You can't stop him in transition. You're either gonna foul him,
mm-hmm.
you're gonna foul him and he makes the bucket,
mm-hmm.
or he's gonna draw the defense in so much that he has to kick out to whoever's out there and just live with the outcome. But so it's like, do you not respect LeBron from the outside? What do you do? How do you
defend LeBron? Is a question that's been asked ever since he came into the league, because he's a 3-point shooter now. You can't deny that at all. He was knocking down shots. The man was knocking, and this is how you know you're feeling it, when you're just shooting it. I saw him shoot the worst shot in basketball with his foot on the line. That's the worst shot in basketball, with your foot on the 3-point line, and he made it. Shot it with conviction. So when LeBron's playing with confidence like this, I'd make him score more. I would make him score more, because what's going to happen if you help off? He's the best passer in basketball. He's probably one of the best, I say, close to Magic, John Stockton, Chris Paul even comes to mind. He's up there type passer. His basketball IQ is off the charts, man.
What about that behind the back pass to Tristan Thompson?
Tristan Thompson messed that up.
Yeah, but
Tristan Thompson messed that up.
That was a stellar pass.
It looked like he was in no man's land. He was like, oh, Kevin Love's open in the corner. So there was a lot of missed defensive assignments, which I just don't see happening again. I don't see Golden State playing like this again. I see them going back to what made them successful. We will lock down everybody else. But LeBron, you're going to have to be a scorer tonight. You're going to have to shoot about 30 shots. And, LeBron's 30 shots don't come as easy as Kevin Durant's 30 shots.
Right.
Kevin Durant, Bri, we was watching the same game 3. How many points did you think Kevin Durant had in the third quarter?
It's just like, how do you guard Kevin Durant? I mean, he has a 7'4" wingspan and plays like a guard. And shoots like a guard.
Kevin Durant is so unstoppable that, would you classify his game as bad last night?
No, I would not, because even though we talked so much about Kevin Durant's offensive game,
mm-hmm.
he was just relentless. I mean, in the fourth quarter, I don't know if it was the third or the fourth quarter, when he blocks his shot off the backboard, I mean, this man wants a ring. He's hungry. And I think when you have that type of mentality, who can stop him? How can you say that's a bad game? I mean, he had 35 points. Is that a bad game?
No, and that's what I'm saying. He shot 9 for 22. 9 for 22. Anybody else would be like, man, why he keeps shooting it, but he was 15 and 16 from the free throw line. I saw something in Kevin Durant at the end of the fourth quarter, because in a blowout game, the fourth quarter is always the most important, because a team is looking for something. They're looking for something, a chink in the armor when you're having your best game ever. And the thing that I saw Kevin Durant see that can't nobody stop him from going to the rim. And I saw him attack like he didn't attack before.
He didn't settle.
He wasn't settling, because you can still see reminisce of Game 3 where he came up and he hit the three in LeBron's face. You saw him wanting to do that a couple of times in his favorite spot on the left wing. You saw him try to do that a couple of times, but then it's like something switched, something went off, and he was like, I'll just attack. I'll attack so much that they'll have to change their whole defensive plan. And that's what I saw from KD, and that's what I'm seeing from LeBron also, and Kyrie. These dudes are not settling, but I still see Klay Thompson settling for long threes when he's not really in rhythm. I see Steph settling for long threes when he's really not in rhythm. What happened to Steph Curry having 10 free throws in one quarter?
He's settling.
Why are they... It feels like they just want to end this series with one shot. And that's what happened last year. They tried to end it with one shot. And that's why they need Kevin... If they're going to win, they need Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant sees that I have to be consistently great every single night. I can't pick and choose. Like Steph Curry, 14 points, 4 of 13 shooting, 2 of 9 from 3. So you mean 4 of your shots were twos. He's probably going to go down as the greatest shooter of all time, but you have to have some type of versatility.
Right. And I think Steph does have versatility, but he's not the same Steph, the same MVP Steph he was.
Well, I think he is. I think he just settled last night, because last year, did he have the burst? No. Was he able to get to the cup? No. This series, we've seen him be able to get to the cup, but let me ask you this. Do you think the Cavs' offensive game is affected Steph more than them playing defense on him? Because I see him going through a lot of screens. I see him going through a lot of pick and rolls. And at some point, your legs are going to go. So, what do you think is more, the Cavs' offensive game or Steph just struggling?
I think Steph is just struggling because, what was it, a year or two ago where he was being face guarded? I mean, he's been checked a little bit. He's been checked harder than he has out there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when you're a shooter and it's just not falling for you, it's like, what do I do now? How do I contribute? And, not to say that Steph Curry is a terrible defender. That's just not his game. So when it's not falling for you, what do you do?
It's kind of like J.R. Smith.
Yeah.
Well, J.R. Smith, all right, he was good on defense last night. Let's get that. He was good because he was making shots. But we saw in the first 2 games he wasn't making shots. He wasn't even effective on defense. But what I saw Steph do, he still got 10 assists. He still got 5 rebounds, 2 steals. He could affect the game in different ways. But what I loved last night was I watched the press conference with him and Kevin Durant. I didn't see any panic. I didn't hear any panic. I didn't hear, man, here we go again. It's just like last year. I saw a team that said, our goal was to come in here and take 1 game. That's all we needed. That was our goal, to take 1 game. Because now they got to come to our house. It's good that Cleveland got this win. Because if they didn't get this win, that whole LeBron James, Michael Jordan conversation, that was going to be tabled forever. And I don't ever think LeBron is going to even be able to catch Jordan.
I don't think he'll catch Jordan only because of their reputations. And I feel like a lot of times we talk about, Kevin Durant just, he just hopped on the bandwagon. But can we say LeBron did the same? Did LeBron not handpick his team?
But Bri, he said it's different. LeBron said it was different circumstances.
Was it really? Did LeBron have to go to the big 3 to get a championship?
Did he go to Wade County? So he left Cleveland, didn't he?
Yeah.
He left Cleveland. Went to South Beach. Nice, sunny. Man, they got a lovely beach down there. I wish I could go to Miami.
2 NBA All-Stars that could possibly help me get my ring.
And Ray Allen
when I couldn't beat the Wizards in the NBA East playoffs first round.
It was bad for LeBron back then. He still got them to the chip. I mean, Orlando was great. They had Dwight, everything. Boston put their team together. So I think LeBron saw in KG and Ray Allen going to Boston. He was like, why can't I? Why can't I go play with players that I'm tired of sitting there giving it to Boobie Gibson and Mo Williams on the wing. I'm tired of seeing Delonte West in my locker room. So with LeBron, it's like this is his own doing right now. What's happening right now with KD on the Warriors, it's his own doing. I think Jordan would have even wanted to play with better players. Not saying that Scottie Pippen was bad. Not saying that Dennis Rodman was bad. But
they were role players.
But what if they never got them? Michael Jordan would be Dominique Wilkins.
That's very true.
So if we just want to be real, everything has changed. This whole game has changed. The whole NBA industry has changed. There is a difference between a max player and an elite player. Like, would you classify Hassan Whiteside as elite? No. He's a max player, so the money's different. Players are able to have their own destiny in the palm of their hands. So I don't even like comparing cross generations. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to look at. It's fun to play on 2K and everything. But it's just totally different because this is a conversation that I hear a lot. This is the argument for LeBron. He's a better three-point shooter. When in a league, 2 teams can combine to shoot 100 3-pointers in a game. Mm-hmm. In a league where when have we had this many elite point guards? It seems if you don't have an elite point guard on your team, you're not even going to make the playoffs.
That's what it seems like.
But in the 90s and in the 80s,
I feel like it was a lot more about defense too, because we're seeing 80 points in the first half. That's not happening with the Detroit Pistons. They're not allowing that, and I don't know whether do you think it's taken away from the game that it's great to see scoring, but I myself, I like to see maybe not the most fundamental basketball, but I like to see stops. I like to see people shut down, and I feel like that's not happening. I mean, we got 3 players with over 35 points.
But the players are more advanced too. Everybody is skilled. You heard Draymond say it the other day. If you can't shoot, you're a liability on offense. In the 90s, where they have Charles Oakley, you don't want him attempting any shot that's outside of 2 feet. You don't want that. It's like just 2 totally different games. Even when Kobe was in even the early 2000s, the 3 wasn't even valued that much. Right. It wasn't valued until the Ray Allen came on. And what I was trying to say was, I just want to ask you this question, Bri. I know that we're looking way too far into this. And this is what we have the tendency to do. We have the tendency to just look into the future. I want to ask you, will Steph Curry's legacy be better than LeBron's?
Well, I do think it is really hard to compare 2 totally different games. But I will say that Steph Curry's effect on the shooting, how we look at shooting in the NBA, has totally changed. I mean, Steph Curry is not shooting a 3 with a foot on the line. He's shooting with a hash mark from half court, from the free throw line. I've seen him make a 3-pointer. So it's to the point now where you can't keep your hands down. Like, you got to respect him as soon as he crosses the half court line.
So let me put it to you like this. Steph Curry is so great, he changed LeBron's game.
Right.
He changed the way the best player in the world plays basketball. What other player in NBA history do you know that changed the way the best player in the world plays? Because every best player set the precedent. We had Magic Johnson with the passing, Larry Bird with the shooting. We had Michael Jordan with just the sheer athleticism. We had Wilt Chamberlain, big man, post, Bill Russell, defense. The best player dictated the way the game was played. Would you say Steph Curry is even top 3?
Top 3 players in the league right now?
Yeah.
I will say he's top 5, not top 3, only because his defense game is lacking.
But
I feel like is he the best shooter in this game to this day? Yes.
Yeah.
But is he the best player? No. Because if he was the best player, then we wouldn't be having this conversation about him scoring 14 points and Kevin Durant having 30.
But how is he able to change LeBron's game? You see that? How is somebody that's considered not even the best player able to change LeBron's game? That's crazy. That's ludicrous to me. LeBron hasn't changed the league. Kobe changed the league. Jordan changed the league. How has LeBron changed the league?
LeBron has just broke records. All LeBron has done is break records and exhibit excellence every season consistently in postseason basketball. Now, Steph, what I admire about Steph so much, I think, and what we all do, is his story.
Mm-hmm.
I think he didn't come in the league. He came from Davidson College. Okay, he didn't go to Duke like Kyrie or University of Texas like Kevin Durant. He was a 3-star recruit out of high school, and you have to value and you have to respect the amount of work that he has put in to be the name that he has become, be the brand that he has become. And I feel like sometimes we forget. We be like, oh, he just shoot threes. Like, no, he made his own destiny. And I think a lot of times the reason, or why you could say that he maybe changed the game for LeBron, is LeBron has always been dominant and he's never really been challenged. And I feel like this season, more than ever, he's being challenged. He's being forced to exhibit amount of star power that might be greater than his, because LeBron is still one person. Let's remember that.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife. And
the Warriors have four All-Stars in the lineup?
Oh yeah.
4 All-Stars in the lineup.
4 all NBA caliber players.
Exactly. An all defensive player and Draymond Green.
Probably gonna be defensive player of the year.
That's what I'm forecasting. But back to Steph Curry. I think he has changed the game in the aspect that you don't have to be the best 5-star recruit, but if you put in the work and you continue to get better and better every year, and he's been able to get better and better every year. And when we're talking about shooters, you know, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, we're talking about shooters that really come off screens a lot. I really can't count on my hands and toes how many times Ray Allen has just one hand dunked. I mean, Steph's not dunking either like that, but what I will say is that Steph is making it to the point where not only do you have to respect his shot, you have to respect his drive. Mm-hmm. I mean, his pass, it's not Kyrie, but it is miraculous in itself. I mean, we're not used to seeing versatile shooters that are agile and quick. They're coming off screens, they're setting up, and then that's basically all it is. It's like it's a face guard, and then now are they even really a factor anymore? Yes, they're shooting with hands in their face and they're making tough shots. But what about that fake Steph will give, like he's about to shoot and then he puts it on the floor and he's driving and it's quick and he's doing a floater in the lane? I mean, that's hard to guard.
But let's get back to LeBron, because if LeBron's so great, he has influenced the league some. We see Draymond's now that are able to score, rebound, and assist the ball. We've seen athletic players. We'll never see another LeBron. But will we ever see another Steph too? Because I see a lot of Steph is someone that kids can look to. Because not everybody's going to be 6'8". Not everybody's going to be 260 pounds, locomotive. Like you said, a refrigerator with legs. Nobody's going to be that. But there's going to be a lot of Stephs. There's going to be a lot of boys that are 6'2", 160, 150, and are able to shoot the ball. And Steph has been able to change the game in that, as he's changing the way that everyone plays the game. And with his shooting, he has forced LeBron to become a shooter. He has forced different players to develop a jump shot. Because
even Draymond.
Yeah, so when I asked the question, whose legacy is going to be better, we all know LeBron is going to be seen as one of the greats. He's probably going to go down as the second best player of all time. But I think Steph is going to be seen as a player that was transcendent, that changed the way everybody plays. And I think that's better than what LeBron is going to be able to produce.
I agree with that, Brandon. And I feel like we will see another version of Steph Curry, but it's going to be a long way down the line. And it's going to be somebody that can say, oh, Steph Curry influenced me to play this way.
Yeah.
Just like all of the greats. Like, you got players in the league playing with Kobe that were kids when Kobe was playing, and they said that they looked up to Kobe, and they looked up to Shaq, and they looked up to Michael Jordan. All these players that have somebody to look up to and who they want to play like. I do believe that there's going to be quite a lot of players in the near future that are going to say that they're influenced by Steph Curry's game. I mean, just the other day, I saw on NBA The Jump, Dwight Howard is practicing threes now. Now, is that good or bad?
That's not a smart idea.
Is that good or bad? I don't know. But now he has to at least try to elevate his game to even be able to hang with the teams that are in the NBA championship now. Now, a center, well, arguably a center, because let's be real, if we talk about centers, there aren't really that many elite centers left, if that's even considered a position. I can count on my hand how many centers I would even want to play on my team, on my NBA All-Star team. But now, is a 5-man really just a taller guard? How is it changing in that way? How are bigger players having to adjust to the game?
Yeah. I respect all that. I get all that. But we got to talk about Game 5. Give me a score.
In Game 5, the Golden State Warriors will win by 12. And the score will be...
I could definitely see that.
And 12 may seem like a lot in the NBA championship, but it is the Warriors, and their leads and other teams' leads are completely different. But I see the Warriors winning by 12, maybe 120 to 108, however that math goes.
Yeah. Yeah, you spot on. You spot on. I got the Warriors definitely winning, because Cleveland's not going to be able to play a game like that on the road. I think the refs are going to call it closer, because you don't want nobody getting ejected. You want the players to decide it. The refs going to call it closer. I got Golden State winning by, I say at least like 14, maybe 15, because I think it's just going to come down to the fourth quarter again, because LeBron James and Kyrie on the road are going to have to be great. Kyrie was spectacular. I have doubts that he'll be able to do that exact performance again. Because in order for Cleveland to win, they have to win the first quarter and the third and still be pretty great in the second. They have to put together a complete game.
They have to win every quarter.
Just like they did last night.
Yeah.
Which I don't see happening. I don't see Steph going quiet like he did. I don't see Klay going quiet. So I just see the Warriors winning their second championship in 3 years and KD getting his first. Now, I don't know how they're going to celebrate. I don't want to see KD crying and all that. I don't want to see all that, but that brings us to the end of our show. You have been tuning in to Real Talk with Bri Bee. We live in the kitchen with it, where pure opinions plus facts equals real talk. We hope you enjoy the episode, and we'll be back next Saturday with more exclusive NBA and different pop culture topics. Peace.